Well, guys, I hate to say it, but another time just like Buffalo several months ago in the NFL playoffs. This time with Syracuse, it was fun while it lasted. Yeah, it was another year where we had to sweat it out, which seems to have become the norm with Syracuse basketball now. But guess what? We get in, we surprise a lot of people. We made it to the Sweet 16, getting past San Diego State and getting past West Virginia. But then we ran into a buzzsaw known as the University of Houston. Not only that, we turned from the gang with Buddy Buckets that could hit three-pointers like it was nothing to the gang who couldn't shoot straight. But we also could say that Houston put on a very hard and clamping defense. Yep, Buddy Boeheim was nowhere to be found. He couldn't really make a three-pointer to save his butt. But whatever, Houston was just too much for Syracuse. A 62-46 end to what was another unique season for Syracuse basketball. And I mean, people thought, hey, they couldn't be in the tournament. Well, hey, we surprised everyone. But now it becomes an interesting off-season. And that is one of my main topics here. Yep, because of the NCAA granting that waiver rule because of the COVID problem, guess what? It's going to turn into free agency, college style. It already is happening with a lot of universities, including the big blue bloods. Duke, Kentucky, who was nowhere to be found in this year's tournament because, hey, this John Calipari team sucked just like him. But of course, what I'm saying is it seems as though every little player wants to change teams. Syracuse, no exception. John Bolajek and Robert Braswell have already said they're going to enter the transfer portal. Quincy Guerrier saying that, hey, he's going to test to see whether he could be drafted. He's going to test the waters, perform for NBA scouts. Of course, we're maybe looking at maybe a couple others maybe leaving, a la Barama Sidibe and Marek Dolajai. I mean, I'd like to see Dolajai back for another season because, I mean, he is a great player. But you know what? I think he's already proven he could have a long pro career over in Europe. Because, I mean, he really upped his game coming over here to the United States, plus also getting his education. But it's also going to be interesting who the Orange bring in via the transfer portal to replace who's left. Hey, Jimmy Boeheim, anyone? Yeah, Jimmy Boeheim and Buddy Boeheim, possibly playing for their father. It could be an interesting time, seeing, hey, Jimmy Boeheim for three, good. Buddy Boeheim for three, good. And of course, Girard and the others also helping. You know, it'll be an interesting off-season, and it was an interesting year for Syracuse basketball. Nice season, way to entertain us through a difficult time. Now let's get through this. Let's get some players via the transfer portal, and let's get back to work come November. We'll see ya. And of course, we also got Syracuse lacrosse to tide us over. What a big, thrilling game they had against Duke, nearly pulling off a win. And the tying goal could have been scored a la Gary and Paul Gate behind the back. Well, you know, we got the lacrosse team to look forward to. And congratulations to John Desko, who was inducted into the National Lacrosse Hall of Fame. But the thing is, you got to think his job is tenuous as Syracuse's lacrosse coach. Because guess what? Syracuse hasn't been to the Final Four or been to the championship in quite a while. Some might say, oh, that owes to lacrosse's growing popularity. No. Syracuse is getting the recruits. Let's show that, hey, we're a great lacrosse power. But I digress. What a season for Syracuse basketball. Let's see you next year. My next topic is, it seems as though cancel culture definitely is run amok. I guess the writer of Captain Underpants wants to change his books because, hey, one reader's talking about passive racism. Well, you know, cancel culture just seems to run amok. Hey, look at what they've done to Dr. Seuss's books, canceling 6 of them, mainly because one of the Chinese characters has the hat, the eyes, plus also is holding chopsticks. Are you kidding me? I mean, they're gonna get on that. And also, the thing with Pepe Le Pew, especially being excluded out of Space Jam 2, because he contributes to, quote, rape culture, unquote. Pepe Le Pew is the locksmith of love, no? Hello, baby. I come with me to the Casbah. You know what? I never gave 2 thoughts about what Pepe Le Pew was in his commercials. Not commercials, in his cartoons. But you know what? Pepe Le Pew was one of the great characters that Warner Brother has. Of course, there's complaints about Speedy Gonzales. Well, you know what? You talk to a lot of people from Mexico, and they like Speedy Gonzales. Who knows? You know, this just whole thing of cancel culture definitely is run amok. You know, there's got to be legislation to stop it. As it seems as though, not only this, how about canceling everything? Because that's what it seems you want to do. And the one thing I do want to say here is, I heard a legend is calling it a day after 40 years on the radio for Rochester. Dave Kane announced that Friday will be his last show. And for 40 years, he helped the lunch crowd in Rochester and around this area. It always was great when you heard, I can't do the whistle. 12 o'clock, they don't know, they think it's lunch. Lunch hour, calling the lunchroom. I'm hungry, safe and sound and hungry. We're all hungry. Course you're hungry. I'm hungry. We're all hungry, so let's eat. Let's eat. And now it's time for only friend of working force in Rochester, New York, and US of A. It's the Dave Kane and the noontime workforce blocks on WCMF. You know, I always thought you were one of the coolest people around. And you know what? For 40 years, you've entertained people in Rochester and around the area. So from me to you, Dave Kane, thanks for everything you've done. You've always been a pleasure to listen to. Congratulations on your retirement. And that's all I have, and that's all I have for this year. This is my season finale for season 13. You know what? Who knows? Season 14 may be on the way. So you know what? Maybe I'll see you in late August, early September.